Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody all around the world, hello and welcome to another episode of The Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch, on this Friday afternoon. Let's make some noise. Everybody, clap it up, get excited wherever you are. We're here, we're back, we're live, and we're all excited to talk about the world of boxing and beyond. We appreciate you joining us on this Friday afternoon, ending the week off strong with us on our show, talking about the world of boxing and beyond, as we got Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson, Conor, Benn, Devin Haney, and a whole plethora of topics of discussion that we're going to be delving into, and most importantly, your voice to hear out, because this Friday, like every Friday, is the championship rounds, ladies and gentlemen. That means it's your time to shine and have your voice be heard and have your voice be added to the debate and conversation of whatever this show is going to go. You all control the flow of all that we discuss, all that we say. Sure, we got points of emphasis that we will delve into. We have, we still have an agenda, but we can go and change just like that with you all with a word, with whatever questions or debates or just straight up topics you want to discuss on the day. We want to hear from you. But while you're here, if you would please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That's right, come on, be a part of the hottest show in all of the globe. Be sure to hit the notification bell, leave a like on the video. One like makes a world of difference to help us to go and grow this channel so immensely, to help us to reach the masses all across the globe. Keep putting your chats in the comment description, like with Joshua Wagner. How you doing? Good to see you. Like with Raekwon, the GOAT. Salute to you. And anybody else who wants to have something to say, put your stuff in the chat. We have your voice be added to the conversation. And if you would be so kind, if you want to support this channel, keep it going. Hey, we got Cash App, PayPal, links down below in the description. Super chats, super gifts, stickers, and the like, all that stuff for you to be able to help support this channel. Helps me to pay the bills and helps us to keep adding and investing to this show to help us grow without question. And the most important thing you can do outside of everything else, and of course outside of watching, is to go through and share the show with everybody that you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together, all with you and your support. We appreciate it so much. And hey, we got an action-packed show for you today. We got a jam-packed show for you today. We got a whole host of things that we're going to need to discuss. Let me see. I don't have a favorite, but in Conor, Benn, and Ryan, somebody getting punched up, though. We're getting ready to address that right now. So, hey, without further ado, we got boxing to cover. We got sports to delve into. We have a whole host of debates that we got to settle, and we got your voice to be heard. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk boxing. It's time to talk sports. And it's time to step into the ring. And it's time for the championship rounds. Let's get it going. Let's get it started. The whole of the show is officially now. And I anticipated some of y'all asking some of these questions. That's why I got some of these topics already lined up. And for the first topic, as we see with Joe Shim, we can talk about it right now. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia. Oh, yes, indeed. It is a fight we've been waiting to see. And it's a fight that we have now that is official. The wheel of anticipation starts to turn once again in the boxing ethos between two very polarizing personalities, but more importantly, two very aggressive and forward-thinking fighters for the respective of in the ring. And it's a hot-blooded issue that we have going on with these two going at each other. We've seen the interviews, we've seen the conversation, we've seen them almost fight each other on stage to go on and blow this fight into a mega proportion of an event. But now we gotta talk about the fight in and of itself. The skills, the bills that need to be paid with their ability to put the other one to sleep. And be clear, I emphasize putting somebody to sleep because somebody is indeed going to sleep in this fight. That's not a debate. That's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. I'm telling you, that is an outright spoiler. Somebody is guaranteed to go to sleep in this fight, at least in my opinion. This is not going 12 with how these two go about with their action. And I'm really asking, will we see Ryan Garcia knock out Conor Benn? Now, that seems like, we would assume if Ryan Garcia wins, it would be by knockout for most people. However, don't forget, I don't believe we've seen Conor Benn knocked out before in any of his defeats. I can't even remember the last time we've seen him knocked down against an opponent. Again, if I'm wrong, please enlighten me. I'm trying to remember because we got a lot of good stuff going through. I'm trying to make sure that I have my history of these fighters correct, but I don't believe we've seen Conor Benn, I think, put down in his career. Yes, he's been on PEDs. Yes, he's been on drugs and who knows what, eating 1,000 eggs at a time, per his own words, to build up his strength and muscle as he so tries to hide the blatant cheating. But I digress. Maybe it might be a little bit difficult for Ryan to be able to go and get to the noggin of one Conor Benn, and maybe that opens up an opening for the likes of Ryan Garcia to get caught within his own right and potentially be put in the same situation that we saw with Rolly Romero. And everybody remembers what happened when he fought against Rolly Romero. That fight completely stifled whatever momentum we had seen with Ryan Garcia up into that point. Without question, without a doubt. But let me keep on reading your thoughts and opinions before I continue with this point of emphasis. Let me read. I think this is from Raekwon. I think Conor gonna whoop Ryan so bad he gonna tell his baby that De La Hoya he quit boxing. And now see that's out of pocket. Hey, that's out of pocket now. This is the last fight. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's actually another good point. This is the last fight, I believe, Ryan Garcia is in with Oscar De La Hoya. If I have my stuff correct, this is the last fight that he has under contract with Oscar De La Hoya. So, if he does lose on his way out, maybe that hurts his stock going into other different promotions of opportunity. If he does go sign with Zuffa, maybe he can't sign with as much money, even though he is still a big-time star. But anybody else, even amongst the big four of promoters, he may lose some leverage. So there is some bigger ripple effects behind the scenes, but strictly within the business of the fight itself. In the fight, in the ring, I don't think Conor Benn has that kind of crack that we've been talking about that he had at 160, or at least that he showed against Chris Eubanks at 160 in the early days of 147. I don't see it. I don't see the level of pop necessary to put Ryan Garcia down and just to beat him up. It's hard for me to see that, strictly because the way that we would need to see Conor Benn get to Ryan Garcia, one, I don't think he's going to be patient enough, like we saw in the first fight when we had him over, like we saw in the second fight when he revamped his style against Chris Eubanks Jr. I don't think he's going to be patient enough, and I think he's going to, on top of being impatient, he's going to just overreach. He's going to overreach. And he's going to be, if Rolly can do it, I can do it. Try to land an overhand, misses that shot, and then boom. Just let it go. Out of here. Absolutely out of here. At least that's what I see going down. I mean, this fight might end with 3 black eyes. Yeah, shoot. I mean, it could be a shoot. It could be 4. At this point, it could be getting so reckless. We could see the referee get a black eye at this point in time. I'm serious. I'm not looking for this fight to be a very tentative affair. Not just because both of these fighters are aggressive, but also because emotions are going to drive this fight a lot more than people recognize. Also, real quick, let me fix my camera just for 1 second. It seems like it's a little bit. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's how I like it. It's a little bit straighter now. No, a lot straighter now. There we go. That's good. But I digress. This fight's going to turn into a fight probably by round 2. It's not going to be a feeling out process. It ain't. Especially since Ryan Garcia's hands are healthy. I can promise you, what we saw against Mario Barrios will be the same thing or a similar thing that we see him do on this night against Conor Benn. Almost assuredly. And I have big major doubts that Conor Benn will be able to beat that type of fighter. More specifically, this is the really important thing. I don't think we've seen Conor Benn fight anybody like Ryan Garcia in his career. Ever. And by that I mean, I'm not just talking about the talent. I'm not just talking about the pedigree of stardom, which again, this would be the biggest star that Conor Benn has ever faced, even way bigger than what we had against Chris Eubanks, and Chris Eubanks was a huge star. This is not me saying he isn't ready for the moment, because that rivalry absolutely was the whole talk of an entire nation over in the UK. That's not what I'm debating. What I'm debating is he hasn't fought somebody that is a qualitative fighter in the same vein as him. Speed on speed. He has never faced somebody that has, with everything that Conor Benn has lost since not taking drugs. The one thing he's had his entire career has always been the uncanny ability to close the gap. That aggressiveness added with his quickness has always been, it's been there for him. Hasn't showed up all the time, but it has been there. When it comes to Ryan Garcia, though, that gets balanced out. More so, that gets counteracted. That gets overwhelmed now. If you're dealing with Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia, he's facing somebody that can do, though he does it in a different way. Again, Ryan Garcia's hand speed is the fastest thing in this fight. Conor Benn's explosiveness all around has always been his best weapon. But Conor Benn, this is the first situation where that element that has never or rarely been outmatched by most opponents is outmatched by Ryan Garcia. Clear as day. I don't even think it's close in that respective regard. I don't. I really don't. And that's going to be a huge issue for Conor Benn in this fight. Me watching, and that's going to lead him getting knocked out. Joshim, not expecting technical greatness in this one. I'm expecting blood. Daniel Day-Lewis style. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And this, it's going to be bloody because it's going to be dirty. And I'm not saying that just because of, the technical dirty aspect. I'm talking about Conor Benn fights or can fight incredibly dirty. We've seen Ryan Garcia use leverage, and do all that stuff. He's not a dirty fighter or using, the underhanded tactics normally. This is from when I've been watching. You can say a lot about it. Normally in the ring, though, as much as he is violent, he doesn't really do the other stuff. Conor Benn does the other stuff. Just go back and look at the fight that he had against Eubanks. Any of them. Or any fight previously before Eubanks. You can go look at Chris Algieri if you want to. Part of his makeup of aggression is any way I can get it, I'm going to get it. At what expense doesn't matter. I'm going to get it. And when it comes to Ryan Garcia, with this type of size and speed that he's got to try to outclass and overcome. Also with what I think is a better fighter in Ryan Garcia, he's going to be using a lot of dirty stuff to get under the skin. I'm talking about elbows and potentially headbutts, even if it's inadvertent, leading with his head to get Ryan Garcia frustrated. In the clinch, trying to bring his neck down, trying to go through, maybe use some forearms, some elbows to lean and posture up the neck and head of Ryan Garcia whenever they close in close quarters. If Ryan gets to the ropes, now you can really start doing some stuff where you got control and you got some leverage added to you because you got the ropes pushing Ryan back against you. Now, you can really use that forearm and push him back. Almost try to do a little bit what we saw when we had Ben Whitaker get flung over the top rope. You could do some stuff like that or try to get the frustration and the mental aspect of the fight getting in Ryan Garcia's head. Make Garcia feel not just uncomfortable, but feel mad. Feel mad. Now, this is not me saying that a mad Ryan Garcia isn't a Garcia that can go and do damage. We've seen what he's done when he doesn't like somebody, like what he did against Devin Haney. Yes, it was also on PEDs, but still, when he's angry, that brother can really be a dominant finisher. But it can also work against him because he somewhat gets blinded, similar to Conor Benn, by that emotional state. And makes mistakes. And gets greedy. And then you can have what happened at Tank happen to him. Or you can have what happened by Tank to Ryan happen again in this fight. I'm not saying that's likely. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that is a possibility. We have to take into account and take very seriously. Let me see. I'm curious to see how Ryan's power affects Benn. And that's a great point. That is a really good point. That's a good point. And I say this because Conor Benn clean fought at 160. Conor Benn clean fought in a fight of the year at so what was it, 168? 160 or 168 going up against Chris Eubanks Jr. This is the first fight when Eubanks wasn't what's the word? When Eubanks wasn't weight drained in the same way as it was in the second fight. Conor Benn can take a punch. Conor Benn can take a punch. Conor Benn can stand up to aggression. Now, yes, he did get buzzed at times when he fought against Eubanks Jr., but again, this is at 160. We're near Canelo territory. We're near Jamal Charlo territory. We're near Arizona. We are in Arizona Lara territory when it comes to weight, and he still was able to eat shots from the same brother who we just saw. What did he do? Knock out Smith? I think previously before that fight, to avenge the knockout loss that he had to Smith, when Roy Jones Jr. was training him. I believe his name was Smith. Anyway, the first fight that Roy Jones trained him and he got knocked out, and then he avenged that loss and knocked his opponent out. That's the type of power that we're dealing with at 160. That's what Eubanks had to deal with and got beat by. And Conor Benn up here took it incredibly well. Clean. His toughness is more credited, or rather should be more credited, than I've been looking at over the course of this whole situation of talking about this fight. I will be the first one to admit, I can say I'm impressed. I can say this brother at 147, it would be hard pressed to say somebody can outright just hurt him if you're not of the elite in terms of power, like Ryan Garcia. However, I don't think that's going to be as much of a defining factor to stop Conor Benn from getting knocked out. Because Ryan Garcia's power, yeah, it will affect him. It will, at 147, it will affect him. Why? Because dropping weight can make you drop muscle and drop padding. And he's dropping so drastically. Yes, he fought at 158 against the likes of Progress, but also he couldn't make, what was it? He couldn't make 154, I think, in that fight. Whatever the weight was, he had to go elevate up because his body couldn't comfortably get down there. This same thing could happen against Ryan Garcia. And whatever durability that would have had with a fully flushed out, filled out level fighter in Conor Benn from a physical perspective with full hydration, that's not going to be a thing in this fight. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a huge problem. Major problem. I can promise you. And secondly, beyond just the hydration situation of him dropping down to 147 may just strip away all of those elements of whatever chin I do have. I'm not going to be able to use it because I'm frail potentially down here. The biggest thing that's going to cause Conor Benn to knock out, or Conor Benn to get knocked out, is he's not going to see something coming. That's going to be the issue. And that's on top of the patience aspect that I was talking about earlier. Because of Conor Benn's lack of patience that I think he's going to have in this fight. Because I don't know if he's going to fight the same way that he fought against Eubanks. Because he would need to do that to have this chance to win. I don't see that. His overzealousness is going to get him in danger. And it's going to be not necessarily the pop of Ryan Garcia, though it is going to be there outright. The pop is going to be so much more extravagant. Conor Benn isn't going to see a shot coming. That's what I think is going to be the biggest thing. I'm not saying it's going to be the left hook, though it could be. But I'm telling you, what's going to catch Conor Benn really in danger street, there's going to be a shot that Conor Benn trying to come on the inside, trying to go and get Ryan Garcia up on the head, or he's trying to lunge down to the body with a long jab to close the distance. There's going to be a punch he doesn't see coming. And no matter what type of training of rolling under shots or trying to make sure you get out of dodge, he's not going to be quick enough. And he's going to get clipped. I wouldn't be surprised if it's right here on the temple or on the back of the head. He's going to get clipped with a shot that he don't see. That brother's going to be on wobbly legs, and at that point, it's the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end at that point. Yeah, so at that point, then we going to see. Oh, shoot. The power of Ryan Garcia, yes, definitely in effect. But that speed, Conor Benn isn't used to somebody that can mirror him. The fight with Chris Algieri, when he landed that jab to the body and went and threw a right straight up top in a bang-bang type of fashion, so quick it almost looked like one punch. Chris Algieri did not see that punch coming. And that's what led to a knockout of the year by Conor Benn, where Algieri was slumped head first on the canvas, out before that buddy hit the mat. That's what Conor Benn did. Expect that to be the potential outcome that we can see with Ryan Garcia. Expect it. Because Conor Benn is going to get caught with something. He is going to be a real problematic issue to himself. He is. And in part, the thing that would help him to stop that potential outcome, he's always training with it, but I don't see him using it in the fight. And that is that head movement with the high guard, when he's squatting low and all that stuff in the gym, all that stuff. I don't see that translate to his style in fight night over these last couple years since post-PEDs. If he fought like that, it'd be a completely different story. And I'm going to show you some clips. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But he doesn't. And because of that, normally, that brother, he can close the gap quick. But he be lunging. And when you lunge, there's a blind spot. If anybody's quick enough to catch that blind spot, it would be the likes of Ryan Garcia. Without question. Let me see. Do you favor Garcia by KO? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You doggone right, I do. I'm proud to say it. I have no qualms with saying it. None at all. None at all. And mind you, it's a must win for Ryan Garcia, but also it should be a given win, in my opinion. This fight with Mario Barrios that we saw against Ryan Garcia have, everybody was saying the same thing. Everybody was saying what I was thinking over social media, over with pundits, all that stuff. Even though the fighter is not the same as Devin Haney and Mario Barrios. And again, I'm making a point. I'm going back. I'm still with the Conor Benn topics. Even though the fighter wasn't what we saw in Devin Haney when Ryan Garcia fought Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia still put on a similar level of walk-down level dominance. Knocking him down, keeping the pressure up, and Mario Barrios really having no answer for the offense that Ryan Garcia poses. And everybody was looking at that and saying, oh my, oh, that looks eerily similar. The consistency of work, at least of the ability of Ryan Garcia, in that fight with the championship got validated in a lot of people. You can still not like him. Absolutely. But what everybody came to agreement with, okay, this brother really is like that in some respects. We have to at least give props because he did it clean this time and did it and won. That's saying Ryan Garcia against a smaller, what we would assume to be less physically able Conor Benn, with him squeezing down here at 147. Welterweight. It's a perfect recipe to have him be able to say, brother, whatever I touch you with, it's going to hurt. It's going to sting. If Regis Progress had you nip and tuck, fighting for your life to go and try to eat, again, you won in a unanimous decision. If we look at what that fight looked like, it was not the same when you look at the face telling the story. Both of y'all were cut up. Both of y'all were bruised. Both of y'all were messed up. And it was a real situation that everybody walked away from that performance. Hey, man, what the world? Conor Benn, this was supposed to be a cakewalk. supposedly you're having a struggle against somebody that is now confirmed. We're watching the fight, and he confirmed after the fight, yeah, I'm injured. I can't do this. This is literally my last fight. I did this to get my last money and get out. But I'm hurt. I'm hurt bad. And you still had this type of performance. What in the world are you going to be like when you're coming down even skinnier against a fighter who at this division in Ryan Garcia has never looked healthier? And we're already seeing you struggle. This is not me trying to say, oh, I don't think Conor Benn has a chance in the world. This is me saying that I don't think Conor Benn has a likely chance of being able to win with all those factors coming into play. And again, the best thing that we've seen when they both have changed divisions, Conor Benn has de-elevated, while Ryan Garcia has reached what we can see right now as the pinnacle of his current talent in his career. And faced off against better competition. On average. He's got better high-level experience. He's got better know-how, not just with the big stage. They're both big stars. Ryan Garcia is the bigger star. That's not a question. But in terms of looking at this fight and saying Ryan Garcia has been in the ring with that same spotlight against better competition, we can say that about Ryan. Tank, Devin Haney, Campbell, Barrios, most of whom were champions. And those are some of the best wins in his career. Routinely seen. Rolly Romero, almost forgot. Yes, he lost to Rolly, but he fought Rolly. And after fighting Rolly, you saw this brother got better. Thankfully, or at least got back to what he was supposed to be in that first fight. Now I still want to see that rematch with Rolly, but I digress. This is what we did. This type of odds stacked against him. It tells me too much in favor of Ryan Garcia. That it would be. I ain't got no choice but to say, but I strongly feel this brother's gonna put him to sleep. I really do. After Benn's last fight, I got Ryan win this one. Yeah, exactly. If Conor Benn was not showing to be so vulnerable when he dropped down to 160 or from 160, this could be a completely different story. But that's my biggest concern talking about all of this. Conor Benn as a fighter just doesn't look the same. Beyond just he doesn't have any power anymore. I'm talking about he doesn't look the same level of ability. He doesn't look the same level of offensive barrage. He's always been an offensive fighter. And again, like I'm about to play right now in this clip, the stuff that translates in training does not translate in the ring. And I'm going to show you all right now, right here, as I'm getting the clip ready to show you in picture. But every time we watch Conor Benn, every time we go and see this brother working out, every single instance of opportunity, it's the same thing. This cat, always looking good. He's working hard. They bring in comparisons. Ryan Garcia is out partying. He's out on game shows. He's out with streamers. He's out going with hosts. And he's out on WWE Monday Night Raw, hitting Joe Henry with a guitar and siding with Danhausen. We're seeing him doing all this other stuff, and we keep seeing Conor Benn, oh, he's sweating. Oh, he's getting the work in. Oh, this cat is just emptying the gas tank to be the best that he can be. Then on fight night, it never fails. Whatever I saw in training camp does not show up on fight night. And now more than ever, that feels like a dangerous possibility that we can see take place. But let me play this clip for you all to see or to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, let's see. I would like to see Conor Benn KO Ryan, but highly unlikely judging by his last performance. I feel, again, it's not a bad position to have. But let me show you what he's working on. And tell me if this is what he looks like in the ring. It is great work, be clear. I'm not saying this training doesn't look great, but I'm about to find you another clip. And again, I got a couple of these I'm pulling up, and I'm showing these to make a point. The biggest struggle that I'm seeing with this fight is the fact that all of this stuff that I've seen with Conor Benn as training, it doesn't show up inside the ring. It doesn't show up inside the actual mode. His fighting style versus what he's actually working on in the gym since the PEDs doesn't look the same. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't translate to the same. Doubling up on hooks and stuff, being able to work cleaner. Again, against a Chris Eubanks that was weight drained, and against a Regis Progress, and sometimes even against Regis Progress, it just didn't work. This brother trains more so like Mike Tyson than anything. And even still, in terms of he'll have his guard up, he'll be ducking under and all this stuff, he'll be doubling and tripling up on the same side of every shot. Cool, fine. Then what do you see inside the ring? What do you see inside the ring? Hands down, moving his head. Inside the ring, you see his head going through, lunging with his jab. And then when he gets on the inside, he ain't ducking under stuff nearly as much. This cat is just still throwing. Hands down at times. Yeah, making it rough, making it tough. If you do see him double up, it's maybe if he's got some level of aggression or if he's stuck in the clinch and he's got to throw with that same hand. This stuff could work and translate well. I don't think we're going to see this stuff inside the ring because this just isn't what he is. This isn't what he does. Nothing about this in terms of Conor Benn training. It normally, when I'm watching him fight, it just doesn't show up. Look, I'll let me show you another clip. I got another clip of him training. I got another clip of him training too. Let me see. Also, well, before we do, we got paid today. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's up, Matt? How you doing? Good to see you. We appreciate you joining in on our live stream today. Welcome back and welcome aboard and welcome to the Watch Report. We thank you so much for your support on our show. Like I said, it is the championship rounds on this show. We want to hear from you in all regards of the boxing world and beyond, whether it's the NBA, NFL, boxing with Keyshawn Davis, Benn, Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Boots Ennis, whatever you want to discuss, this is the time to have your voice be seen and heard for the masses to see all across the globe. Currently, the conversation is, will Ryan Garcia knock out Conor Benn, or can we see an upset? And we want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me see. Apparently, Key gonna pass. Whoa! Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold up. Whoa! Wait a minute. Tell me you're lying. Tell me this isn't real. Hold on a second. Tell me this ain't the real thing. Where did you hear this? Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm about to check social media right now. Wait 1 second. This better not be real. This better not be real. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. We just had one of my best episodes yesterday. Going through and being made to happen. Okay, hold on. Let me see. So as of wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. What is this? I kind of like how the new Devin Haney or the new Keyshawn Davis isn't getting directly in the back and forth right now. Keyshawn on IG, the businessman, posting cryptic stuff. Now, granted, this is after the purse bid did take place, correct? I'm trying to make sure. This was when the purse bid did take place. Top Rank did win it. This fight has 3 dates in mind, with 3 venues in mind. The split has been established. This the first. No, hold on. This is the first time I'm hearing that. There's some shaking up that might be going through. Cause Mike Coppinger said, going to say something. Mike Coppinger going to say something about 22 hours. Hey man, look. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. And this is actually we'll get back to the Ryan Garcia topic because I think this might be something that we need to go and switch up to right here, right now. Before we discuss anything else, we're gonna get back to Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. We need to talk about this right now. We need to talk about this right now. If and I say this with every deliberate fiber in my being. Matt Borgeson, you've been here before, and you've called stuff early. Cause like I said, you say Mike Coppinger is gonna say something in about 22 hours. You may be laughing. You've called stuff early on this show. You and MS have called stuff early on this show. You called the potential deal, or at least the rumored deal going through. You called that going down. You called the thing when we saw Shakur and Devin Haney potentially going to fight each other. So I'm not taking anything I'll take it with a grain of salt, but I know it could come out as actual real. I'm going to say this because I don't like that we saw Keyshawn Davis was posting out on social media, the businessman, and not necessarily hyping up the fight. Devin Haney's the one that's saying, let's get it on. Keyshawn Davis still ain't going with the back and forth. And like we covered earlier in the week on this show. I'm sorry, sounds the world. Felt like my headphones was going out for a second. I digress. Looking at Keyshawn Davis, if he does walk away and say he passes on the fight after making all of this noise, it's going to be such a big blowback to what he has. With the fight with Albright already causing people to have some trepidation, on top of the still rememberings of what he did against De Los Santos, missing weight and then fighting Albright in the backstage. I'm going to be sick. Most people are going to be sick and livid because you wanted this. You asked for it. What sense would it make to go through and make all that noise and hullabaloo, getting yourself bloated up as one of the biggest names in tandem with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson, having you attached to the hip and getting a fight that, again, we wanted Shakur first, but you bullied your way into this fight. Credit to you. You talked your talk. You got yourself a major deal in the biggest fight in your career outright. And now if you potentially, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you do pass on this fight, after all that noise, if you thought what happened initially with what took place with the first downfall of Keyshawn was bad, don't let us see what happens this time around. Don't let it happen now. Oh, Lord. Do not let it happen this time. But this might be irredeemable. This might be irredeemable if you go this route. It's disgusting. They will most likely aim for the Frank Martin way. I don't want that. Not at all. I don't want that in the slightest. I don't want that in the slightest. And again, we appreciate you for the $2 super chat on the show. Thank you so much for your support and arms to the empire. We appreciate it so much. And it means the world to us without question, man. And anybody else who wants to give and just support the channel with you watching, we thank you for being here. But if Keyshawn Davis walks out on this deal, everything that we saw from the De Los Santos thing is going to look like a drop in the bucket. That brother might not recover in the fans' eyes from that fight. Because now you're looking like a scalded dog. Or rather, the boy who cried wolf. You said you wanted to smoke, and now you're stepping away when the deal got done. If you're doing this, we could have just gone through and just fought outright. We could have just gone through and fought outright. The likes of Shakur. Why'd you insert yourself in this in the first place? It's so frustrating. It would be so stupid. It would be so dumb. It would ruin your reputation if you did this. It would be one of the biggest hype jobs that got his way to success and then willingly said, I'm bigger than the program. I would be so hot. You wouldn't. Let me tell you something. Y'all know me. I try to keep it even keel. If he did walk away from this fight after we got this close to making it happen, with him saying that he wanted this in the first place, the amount of, I'd lose my cool. I'd lose my cool and such, because you wasted our time. You wasted our time. And you may not get an opportunity like that again. Legit. Because we know how this boxing game works. I'm be hot. I'll be sorry. Let me see. Love King, is it the championship rounds? If so, who you got for Roach versus the Pater? Well, remember, the whole show is the championship rounds. The whole entire show today is championship rounds. Let's not forget. We got to make sure we had that aboard. Every Friday, the whole show, we want to hear from you in your thoughts and opinions on the sport. And whatever you want to discuss, we want your voice and opinions to be heard without question. So yeah, we can jump to whatever. But Matt Borgerson brought up some points about Keyshawn potentially stepping away from his fight with Devin Haney, even though the first way went through. We're addressing what it would mean for him if it did happen. But you asking about Roach versus the Pater, like I said, I got Roach. Now, it's a little bit closer now than what I initially had with that fight. I will say that. I'll say that. It's a little bit closer to what I initially had for what I thought this fight would be, where I had Roach winning, and winning, I dare say, pretty comfortably, pretty standardly, or pretty decisively, even against the level of volume. But Shakur saying that this brother can actually do some work got me thinking, maybe it's a Pater. Has a little bit more refined tools inside that voluminous bag of constant pressure and aggression. It's going to be an incredibly interesting thing to see how Lamont Roach, with his style of being able to sit in the pocket, how he's going to deal with having to catch everything. If he knows he can't counter everything that Zapater's going to throw. With the most voluminous puncher in boxing. Or one of the most voluminous punchers in boxing. He had time to build up when it came to fighting the likes of Tank. He was even able to slow down Isaac Cruz after the hot start of Isaac Cruz. Again, Isaac Cruz started hot, but he was able to manage the storm, and then by the end of the fight, Isaac Cruz slowed down. Isaac Cruz had to go and do a whole new style. And we got to see Roach be able to regain control. And again, it ended in a draw, but you saw, okay, second half of the fight, he was winning. Against Tank, he built up slow. The process of Lamont Roach a lot of times is, I'm right there with you. And when you start to fall, I'm still right here catching and shooting with everything that you give me. But now I'm doing it better. Because I'm still fresher. I'm still calm. I'm still able to be right in front of you and not give up ground. And I am not losing my level as the fight goes on. It's an incredible skill. And again, up here at 135, he said he's right at home. He feels like he's right at home. This is, in Lamont Roach's own words, this is the way that he wants to be at. This is the way that he says, in all honesty, this is where I belong. I'm going to be here, quoting him, I'm going to be here for a long time. And because he says it's going to be here for a long time, this is a fight that feels right in his wheelhouse. I'm where I reside. So I'm definitely not going to falter physically. I still think he's going to win. I just know it's going to be, it's going to be interesting. Let me see. All right, also, Mr. Miyagi, how you doing? Good to see you. Salute to you and everybody in the chat. We appreciate you on the show, Mr. Miyagi. Matt, you don't agree with me saying that Roach is going to win. You got Zapata. Again, I understand. I get it. I fully get it. Also, Lee Show, you had said something I didn't get to see. I missed your chat. You had said something. We appreciate you here, though. If you can, put it back in the chat. I want to hear what you had to say. Because, again, we want to hear everybody's topic of conversation. This is an interactive show. And we want to hear from you in all regards. Put your chat back in there if you can. Because I would like to read what you had to say. But we appreciate you being on the show. And we love to hear your opinion. Let me see. I got another roach draw. Brother, if... We can't have that. Hey man, we can't have that. We cannot have that. We cannot have another Roach draw. We gotta get Roach some separation. We gotta get Roach some separation as to how good he is. We have to. If Roach gets another draw, that would be what? He'd be what, 20, what is he, 23, 1-3? Could that be his third straight draw of the day? I mean, at that point, he might draw his way into another chance. This is for a title. If he draws against William Zepeda, they can rematch. So that would be 4 draws, 2 title opportunities that he would be getting without ever winning a fight within the last year. That would be one of the most convoluted careers we've seen. Because if he did draw against William Zepeda, you couldn't say that he didn't deserve another championship opportunity because the champ or the contender for the title didn't beat him. Though he didn't beat the champ. He could still be in contention. Shoot, put him against Abdullah Mason after that. Who knows? Who knows? He may just draw his way into fighting against Murataya and Abdullah. And he might not beat them either. His whole career at 135 could just be nothing but draws. I'm telling you, if this does happen, it'll be one of the strangest careers I've ever seen. Do you think Abdullah Mason should fight the winner of Roach versus Zepeda? So now that's a good question. That's a really good question. And I can't remember. I know Albert Bell was a replacement for the original fighter in Joe Cordina. We understand that. Shorter notice, even though you sparred with Albert Bell in the past, so y'all were familiar with each other. Albert Bell just about beat you. If you didn't get that knockout, it was going to get very dicey how that decision was going to go. You needed a knockdown just to get yourself back in real running contention to be able to say, yeah, I'm in position to win this fight. Albert Bell gave you a whole host of things to think about. If he fights against Roach or Zepeda right now, can he beat them? Yes, he can. With how he's developing now, would he beat them? I'm not sure yet. This may be a situation where as a champ, you're taking 2 fights against good competition. Take one, I'm not going to say easy fight, but take a fight where you can work on the things that we're seeing you struggle with. Like with you being able to box against somebody that's a constant mover and point scorer. Like with Bell. You were struggling until you turned it into a fight. Now, you're a champion. Champs got to fight everybody. I don't care if you're ready or not. Here they come. The competition's moving through up, down Main Street. You got to take on whoever comes in front of you. That is completely understandable. But if you do have the capacity to have some leeway, move, fight at least one fight that's not as tough of a contender, but fitting the same moniker of a mover and fix those issues. Because I'm scared that you fight against some of these better, well-polished guys, even though I think as a talent, it's you and Murataya, you can still be beat. And I love Abdullah Mason. Y'all have heard me say, but he can be beat without question. But Zepeda, yes. Roach, I would be a little bit more sketchy with. I think Abdullah could beat him, but I'd be very wary with what we saw in that last fight with Bell, just like with Murataya, to fight him right now. But Zepeda, I think because of what we saw with Sam Noakes, I think he can fight him and work out better with a potential victory, at least initially. Because the stylistic clash works in the favor of what Abdullah Mason wants. Because he just likes to bite down and go to war. He does love that. So, if I was picking the two, I would do Zepeda over Abdullah Mason or Zepeda over Roach as one of the two people to fight against, depending on who wins this fight. If I'm Mason, I'm hoping Zepeda wins so I can take him out. Because you fighting Roach right now, he may have some tricks of the trade that might get you into real trouble. Let me see. Lee Show, like I said, thank you for chatting back on your thing. Blessings to you. Salute to you and blessings to you as well. You and your family. We think Zepeda will put up a good fight tomorrow. We also think Ryan beats Conor and Haney gives Keyshawn his first loss. See, well, most of those things I agree with. I just don't think Zepeda beats Lamont Roach. But I do think that Ryan beats Conor Benn. And that Keyshawn loses to Devin Haney. And Keyshawn losing to Devin Haney, specifically, at this early age, is not bad, as what some people may want to assume. Because if we look at how Keyshawn's moved through his career, that specific fight would not be a bad loss to lose against. If anything, you put up a good performance. People are saying, hey, even in defeat, buddy, you put up some real success. That elevates you well above a majority of other people at this same division or below. But if you went back down to 140 and you had a good performance even in a loss against Devin Haney, we will be saying, okay, this buddy probably going to clean house. If you have a good loss against Devin Haney and you chose to move up to 154 even, people would buy into you a little bit more because, hey, this cat performed against one of the best technical fighters in the world. So, even though this is going to be a very hard task for him to handle at this bigger weight division, if he chooses to go up there, he showed he's got the poise and technical ability to be able to withstand the mind games and the mental landscape of one of the best thinkers in the sport. So, maybe he can last up there. So Keyshawn Davis just lose. I'm not mad. And with this fight, I'm not mad. But that's why I wanted to take it. Because I wanted to see how good is he really, without question. Mason, like a modern day Sugar Ray Leonard. I think he could be anyone or beat anyone once he's given the opportunity to. Yes. Well, hold on. We gotta pump the brakes because I think we had this conversation about Sugar Ray. Well, not we, but we've had conversations about Sugar Ray before. It's hard for me to see anybody being Sugar Ray Leonard. Some people call Shakur Stevenson Sugar Shakur as the moniker. I don't see Sugar Ray in Shakur. Do I see Sugar Ray in Leonard? You know what? I see what you're saying, but I think I see it a little bit differently. I see some of Sugar Ray Leonard in Abdullah Mason. Again, when I say some, I mean when he goes into a fight, that ruthlessness about him. That's what I see somewhat similar to Leonard. And I say somewhat in a very vestige of sense. And that's not disrespect. Because Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson would tell you, Sugar Ray Leonard was a killer. Sugar Ray Leonard wanted to kill you. Behind that smile. Behind all that, all the showboating and stuff, he wanted to kill you in the ring. And he has some of the most vicious knockouts I've seen from somebody. Genuinely. Go watch his highlight reel. That brother was ruthless. Ruthless. And would do it with a smile on his face. Abdullah Mason, he doesn't do it with a smile. But his best attribute is the ruthless aggression of, we just need to get you out of there. And when he gets to that mode, I see, okay, hey, it ain't the same by the slightest, but there's a callback I can look at and say, oh, okay, there's something here. As he gets better, that comparison may get even more substantial. Hopefully it does. But right now, there's a vagueness in the air that I could put Abdullah Mason in somewhat in that regard. And again, if I'm being hesitant, it's not because I'm trying to, just ride with the old guard. Somebody like Sugar Ray is very difficult for me to say somebody is like him. It's like me saying somebody is like Roy. The only person I've said that deliberately about is Inouye. And it took me a while to say that with Jerron Boots Ennis now. And outside of that, ain't been nobody else. James Toney, same thing. Mike Tyson, same thing. Ali, same thing. But I do get where you're coming from. I do understand where you are coming from. Keyshawn has a bad habit of losing discipline in the ring. He gets pretty wild during his fights. So, well, hold on. I can see some antics in the ring take place during the fight. You know what? I see what you're saying. I had to think, but I see what you're saying. Because go back to the fight with Albright. Now, granted, this wasn't, uber egregious. But there was a situation where this buddy was getting caught with stuff that, like, hey, why are your hands there? Why are your stuff up? Why is normally you be slipping and parrying that shot. Why were you eating it? There's some real discrepancy of sorts at times. That when we're looking at Keyshawn Davis, he can make mistakes. As good as he is, he can make some mistakes, real mistakes. That in this fight, if he fights Devin Haney, you doggone right. If this cat goes into a situation where he does lose discipline, where he does go and get to a point where he's getting caught on the inside without moving his head, he's being static, trying to get and catch Devin Haney. He gets too comfortable going downstairs to the body and dropping one of his hands, or not being able to really, take heed to the need to keep Devin Haney always back to the ropes and cutting off the ring. Yeah, this buddy can lose some discipline. And he can get mad or get frustrated. Talking to the crowd and all that stuff. We've seen him go and jaw, at opposing coaches or others. Good or bad, I'm not saying it's one way or the other. I'm just saying the focus sometimes has fleeted the building for a split second. And when that happens, normally that's when he gets caught. Or gets put in, oh no, I'm not where I want to be. That ain't bad to say. That is not bad to say. And antics-wise, he could be the one doing the antics. Because he's that type of persona. Like I said, we weren't just saying that he can go at Shakur just because, they just want to be number one. We're picking him to be the guy to push Shakur's button to say, hey, forget the brotherhood, I want to fight you. Because his personality, and what he's shown, that pride is something strong. That proudness of his ability, especially if he goes and accomplishes stuff, but it's strong. And it will lead him to do things to show you I'm that guy. In the ring and outside of it. The persona of Keyshawn Davis. Again, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's what can happen. This fight, that can lead to some level of, why aren't you staying put and doing what I want you to do? Behind this smile, now I'm starting to lose my cool and I'm doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. Next thing you know, I'm outpointed. I can't catch up. Fight's over. And I lose. It could absolutely happen. Let me see. Sugar Ray Leonard versus Aaron Pryor. At 145 at a catch weight. Ooh, that's good. You know what? No, I still got Sugar Ray. I still got Sugar Ray Leonard. If we're talking about prime for prime, and it was Sugar Ray and Pryor at 145, I think man, good gosh, Lord, that would be a war. Woo! That could be a trilogy. If we're gonna be real, that could be a trilogy fight. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of those fights they draw. But Leonard wins at least 2. Good night, man. I think Leonard would win that fight. But Lord, you want to talk about paying $100 or $80 for a fight? That'd be one I do without question. I do that without question. I take a juiced up prior to win in the 15 round. I mean, look, I'm not saying you wrong for picking it, because Aaron Pryor, good. Aaron Pryor, and for those of you that may not be aware, Aaron Pryor is one of the unsung heroes of the Four Kings era, because with Hearns, Duran, Leonard, Hagler, all kind of taking up the spotlight, Aaron Pryor, I think there was another name that was also in and around that vicinity. They kind of got overshadowed. Aaron Pryor still is. I can't remember if he's alive or not. But he, at that time, that man was an absolute fire force of pain. Fire force of pain. He was so good. So if you ever get a chance, go watch his highlights if you can. He was spectacular as a boxer. He helped make that whole era one of the most definable in all of boxing. Without him, I don't think the Four Kings era would even be the same. Because of his ability, because of his talent, because of his power. He had everything. Literally. You couldn't really pick out something he couldn't do. And he could elevate with anybody you put him in the ring with. Big speculation. He might have been if he got in the ring with some people, he might have been able to beat him. This cat, Aaron Pryor, I'm telling you, go back and watch. Again, for those of you that are watching, go back and watch. Go back and watch. Aaron Pryor, go look at his highlights. Or just full-blown fights. It's worth the watch. This cat was an artist of a boxer. So exciting, but also he was so good. So good. Let me see. Oh, yeah, and he had a good corner in Panama Lewis. Like, he had everything, and had a coach that was also further feeding into that ability and seeing what was going on inside of him. It was literally a match made in heaven. Them two together. I loved it. Legit. I loved it. Like, it was perfect. It was perfect. It was perfect. It was. I don't want to get too far down memory lane. Just know, if you haven't seen or heard of Aaron Pryor, go watch his highlights. And you'll see he is part of the reason why we talk about that whole era in boxing in such high regard. Because fighters like him were in the thick of every single one of these talks. And he was a threat just as high as everybody, or just about as high as everybody. Because he legit was good enough. No matter who you stepped in the ring with, this cat was going to give you work. And one mistake could cost you everything. That's it. It was incredible. But again, back, we want to make sure we keep on with the conversation at hand. And we do want to make sure we discuss, somebody had something I wanted to address earlier that I had to leave behind for the sake of conversation. And that was, I think it was something with the Conor Benn and the Conor Benn and Ryan fight. That's what I wanted to get back to, because somebody had asked about that earlier. The Conor Benn and Ryan fight. That fight with Conor Benn, there was a point that I was supposed to finish, and I remember now. Conor Benn doesn't fight like he trains. That's why I think Conor Benn's going to lose. And if Conor Benn loses against Ryan Garcia, with this $15 million deal, or whatever the word he's got with Zuffa, there is a big question. What does he do now? Because then, sure, he can fight Shakur, but then that'll be 2 losses back to back. And after that, against Zuffa, Valenzuela is the last real hope for a name, but he might not be taken seriously. This fight is a big-time fight, because for Ryan Garcia, after De La Hoya, he needs to win to keep his leverage and keep his hopes alive of getting the fights with Devin Haney and others, especially if we're seeing potentially Keyshawn Davis walk away from that fight. If Again, big if, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just bringing up it might. If it does take place. You want to be in position to say, okay, give me what he lost and give me my revenge. And then we can go through and get this done the right way. And I can finally get the grudge match we've been waiting on for a number of years. If that happened on Halloween, good gosh. Incredible. Well, it wouldn't be on Halloween because Ryan Garcia would just be getting off of a fight. Understand. But next year, perfect. But this is a must win for both of these guys. Don't let anybody fool you in this regard. It is a must win. Because if they don't do it, I'm telling you, it can get very bad very quickly for the reputation of both of them. But let me keep on reading your thoughts and opinions because we got a bunch of people still in the chat talking about the world of boxing and beyond. We do need to cover the likes of Boots Ennis. We do need to cover that on this show as well if we can because I got some stuff I need to address with him. The late great Henry Armstrong versus Aaron Pryor, the catchweight at 144. Dream matchup. I mean, look, if we're going to go dream matchups, I'm sorry. Which rules we talking? We got to ask that. We got to ask that also. If we're talking Aaron Pryor, rules, or if we're talking Henry Armstrong rules from the days that he fought. If it's Henry Armstrong rules, yeah, I'm taking Henry Armstrong. I'm sorry. Henry Armstrong with his rules, good gosh. In his era, Lord, even at 144, good night. I'm picking Henry. Even in modern day times, I might have to pick Henry. I can't I've watched Henry Armstrong and I've seen that, but that brother was on you like glue, and I've yet to see somebody successfully get away from him. That's the thing. You could not get him off of you. No matter what you did. I'm taking Henry. I would love to see that fight, but call me an old head. Fine. So be it. I'm taking Henry on that. That's and I love Aaron Pryor. That's a different breed. Henry Armstrong is one of the 10 best fighters in the world in boxing history. On my list. And it's gonna be hard pressed for me to pick anybody above him. That's just me though. If Henry is allowed to fight how he fought, he's hard to beat, relentless and forehead. That's the thing. If he's allowed to fight, if the ref lets it go like that, oh, it's Henry. It's Henry all day. Cause see, here's the thing about those the older era of fighters that I experienced when watching them. Their activity was based off the fact that it wasn't just every punch was graded differently, an uppercut was bigger than a jab or stuff. It was whoever lands the most, that's who wins. And you got to show that you outdoing your opponent. Not sure you had Willie Pep and defensive fighters, later on in the decades, Napoleon Loche, another defensive fighter that was just able to get out the way and be so slick, you couldn't deny he was beating everybody. But on the whole, it was, you gotta fight. Fight. And the sweet science was still the sweet science. But I wouldn't call it crude. I would say the equation is different. Now it's clean work, always be clean. Then it was, you need to get dirty because there's no way you can be clean all the time. You got to make sure that you get your opponent dirtier. Still box, still be technical. Still do all the stuff, get under punches, be able to slip, have stamina to go and outwork your opponent, but you gotta go and fight. You gotta bring the fight to him. You got to land. More than anything, you gotta score, because that's what the judges are judging. Who is doing more work? For the most part, that's what they were scoring. And so the whole makeup of what a fighter had to do was different. And so everything was about, in some way, shape, or form, aggression. I'm not saying it was just crude, we're just throwing haymakers. But most of the styles that dominated that day were all predicated on close the distance, do damage, and work rate. Because we got to fight. We have to fight. If we got to make it dirty, but we got to fight. And I got to bring it to you. Because the crowd ain't paid for this. I'm not walking home with another check in a fight again if I don't do this. Because the promoter ain't going to sign me because I'm not exciting. I'm not bringing people to want to see. And at that point in time, boxing was not a situation where, oh, you're just able to make money. One fight, $5 million. You ain't got to fight again. We fighting every Sunday, every Friday, every Wednesday, 3 times a week. Sometimes we fighting 10 times a month. Having people like Henry Armstrong having like 70 or 60 fights. You having people like Sugar Ray Robinson. What is he? He's 120 something? 120, 140 and 10? Archie Moore, 100 plus fights. We are seeing this type of stuff take place because it was a different environment and a different need for what you had to be for a fighter. You were literally clocking in to your job, clocking out, and then going to box. But you had to dedicate everything off of work into boxing. Sure, people did smoke. Sure, people did drink. Sure, it wasn't as nearly refined in the, how do we say, health department of knowing how to keep your body sustained for longer. But regardless of which, they just fought through it. Broken hands, broken over the bones, broken ribs. We still going 15 rounds. It was a point back in the day, they didn't have rounds. It was until you dropped. I think the longest fight in recorded history was 200 plus rounds. In fact, I'm gonna look that up to make sure. Hold on. Let me look it up. Well, what's the longest boxing match in history? The longest boxing, excuse me, I was wrong. The longest boxing match in history was 110 rounds in 1893. It went 7 hours. So imagine you got one card, starts at 6, prelims, ends at maybe 1. That whole card was one fight. 6 o'clock, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 a.m. That's how long that fight went. I'm telling you, it was a different game. It was a different game back in the day when it came to boxers as a whole. And so, if it's when Henry Armstrong in his era of rules, I think Henry Armstrong wins that fight. But Henry Armstrong was good enough, even if it was Aaron Pryor's level of rules. I still think Henry Armstrong would have been able to win. Because it's not like his tactics wouldn't have worked. Because if Roberto Duran could change head slots and lean on your shoulder and be able to go and work on the inside, I know for a fact Henry Armstrong could do that same thing. True. And we know his power carried however big he needed to go to. So, yeah, I think whatever era, I think he would win that fight, but it would be a phenomenal fight, nonetheless. Let me see, Raito Tsutsumi, what do you think of his performance? Yes, he was phenomenal. And granted, we have been watching him come up in boxing since he first arrived on the streets of the Ring magazine. Yeah, we've seen this brother. What is he, 5-0 now? 4 KOs straight on his resume. I believe that's his record. 5-0 with 4 KOs straight on his resume. I told you all that this brother was going to be a problem the first night. Or rather, I said that this cat could be somebody that as we see him unfold, if he does, because that first fight with him, I think we were kind of like, ooh, maybe he doesn't have that power up here. but against that black dude over in I think it was New York. I forget his name, but he fought a black brother in New York. I think that was his first fight. He won, but it was good, but it wasn't like a oh my gosh. But subsequently afterwards, it's been different. This cat's been running through and doing work, and he's been able to fortify that level of power. Raito Sutsumi is a monstrous puncher. He's a monstrous puncher. That brother, he's turned into the type of not 5-0. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up with the other Sutsumi brother. 26-2. Excuse me. It's his record. Not 5-0. I'm thinking of the other Sutsumi or the other brother that's on the Ring Magazine card. My apologies. Raito Sutsumi has been. No, I'm wrong. Hold on, Mulligan. I'm wrong. I'm absolutely wrong. This cat, I'm thinking of his amateur record. His amateur record is 26 and something. His pro record, yeah, it's 5-0 with 4 KOs. I knew I see. I was just getting mixed up with the resume. No, I'm right. Regardless of this, I'm mixing my own stuff up, but I know what I'm talking about. Raito Sutsumi, yes, as much as it doesn't look like, I do know. I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to make sure I get myself together. Raito Sutsumi is going to be a problem at super featherweight at 126. I'm not saying he's going to be championship material right now. I'm not saying bring on Shushu, bring on Leo, bring on Espinoza, bring on Nick Ball even, bring on Figueroa, bring on TJ Haney. I'm not saying that now. But if this cat goes to 10-0 or 11-0, excuse me, and he keeps on having these dominant performances against people with 26-2 records, 30-10 records, elevating his game, getting some undefeated names that have also been in the same position under his belt, and getting them out of there in the same or a similar level of destructive fashion, where we're seeing this cat blossom from just a stoic, high guard, walk down body puncher into an incredibly well-versed, still body-oriented, but menace to society. Here's going to be a problem at 126. At super featherweight, I believe 126. Yeah, give me. It's featherweight 126 to 129. I'm saying, hold on. It's featherweight 126, excuse me. It's super featherweight 126, or is it 129? Let me make sure I'm getting this title right. I want to make sure I'm saying it's super featherweight 126 or 129, so I can make sure I'm putting them in the same type of card. Okay, excuse me. Super featherweight 129, or excuse me, 130. And he's coming in 129, 129. Michael Ruiz came in 134 and then 127. So my apologies. At 130. Still. Shock. Navarrete, and names of that caliber, don't put him in there yet. But let him get to 11-0 regardless. Shoot, with any division. You're going to be just fine. And those who are going to move up from 126, like with Shushu, like with Espinoza, like with potential Nick Ball, after this loss to Brandon Figueroa, he might just say, I need to move up. Or feel like, let me try some new pastures since this division may have passed me by. By the time they get up there, he's going to be hitting his stride. And he going to be good. More than good. He going to be a threat. Big time threat. Let me see. He KO an undefeated Mexican in his 5 fights. He did. And again, the way that he did it, I believe the brother's name was Herrera that he knocked out. Yeah, Alvino Herrera. 18 with 18-0 with 2 draws on his resume. And Herrera, I'm not saying he was the uber upper echelon, But Herrera could have ruined this night. And Herrera got stomped out. I didn't even expect that from Tsutsumi to stomp him out. I'm telling you. Up here at 130, Raito Tsutsumi can be he's probably going to be one of the better precision punchers in this division. And by precision, I mean his ability to go and land when you're moving backwards to still not distract you, but open you up. I love that. I love that when I watch him fight. Because when Herrera was getting in trouble and he was trying to back up, we were seeing this cat find a way to open his own door. Against Quintana, he still found a way to open his own door. And he did that in 4 rounds. Javier, was it Javier? Yeah, Javier Martinez. He found a way to make his own opening. He's been so good at not just getting close to the opponent, not just being smart with being able to, wait till they throw, wait till I'm in position to where up they're vulnerable and then let my stuff go. Don't get overzealous, but also don't waste the moment. He's not just thinking in that regard, but he is making his own openings when his opponent tries to escape. Instead of just throwing willy-nilly, he is actively searching for the hole or the chink in the armor, for the crack in the concrete. Every time. And every time it's been working. Like this man is going to be a problem when he gets once he evolves 10-0, 11-0. 5 more fights, this cat's going to be a big time issue. He keeps on with this level of activity, he's going to be somebody everybody better watch out for. Because he's going to be a massive potential threat to this division. Let me see. Taraji is a 3-division world champion. Yes, he is. And that's the counters. He's very good at countering as well. He dominated Israel Gomez, dropped him twice. He did. And I believe Taraji was that the Golden Boy, Golden Child. I think his name was Golden Boy. But formerly, I believe Taraji was pound for pound top 10. But stuff shook up. He lost, got knocked out against who was it? Christian, what was his name? He's about to fight again. He's about to fight again. Who in the world? Taraji was Christian something. It was Christian I'm gonna search it up. Cause I want to make sure I say it right. Who did Taraji lose to? Who in the world? Was it Medina? Sandoval. That's what I'm thinking. Sandoval. He lost to Sandoval. Ricardo, I don't know why I said Christian Medina. Yeah, thank you. Ricardo Sandoval. I knew I was tripping. I don't know why I was thinking Christian Medina. Ricardo Sandoval is the buddy that he lost to that derailed that initial stint up to the top. I'm not saying I don't believe he was undefeated before. I think he had one loss on his resume before that defeat. But at that point in time, he had been elevating his way through into being multi-division champion and looking like one of the best out here as a talent. Now, he's back on that rise. And he knocked out Gonzalez. He knocked out Israel Gonzalez. That is not a small feat to do. That's not small at all to do. And Sandoval beating him with the time off that he took, I think it helped him out immensely. And I'm glad he's back on top of the world champion. I can't wait to see him flourish and shine going forward now. After this win against Gonzalez. Now, who he fights after this? I would assume he goes after another championship. I would assume he goes after another title. If I'm looking at this, because you don't want, I wouldn't want to waste this momentum of getting back into the ranks of the world, not just of boxing, but of the world of general in my own division, and being able to move up and move out. And Taraji, I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna say he's damaged because he ain't damaged at all. I mean, he could fight Fernando Martinez. Well, he might want to wait for Fernando Martinez, and I'll fight him immediately. Could fight. Is Andrew Maloney still a champion? If Maloney's still a champion, he could fight him. I would think that would make sense, unless I'm wrong. Because yeah, his resume is fantastic, and okay, so he wants to be undisputed. Okay, cool. If that's the case, then yeah, go run rampant, run roughshod, go and do some work, do great work, and he can do it, and he has. I would still think with him becoming champion again, most would favor him as at least top 3, maybe even top 2 in the division, to go and be favored to get back on top of the throne and potentially win up all to go. If I'm him, I'm really thinking I can go after I got to make sure Maloney's a champion. But if Maloney is a champion in terms of Andrew Maloney, I'm going after Andrew Maloney. I'm going if he's a champion. If he's not a champion, you could still fight him, but you leaving him it's whatever. But wait a minute, no, I'm wrong. Don't go after Andrew Maloney. Don't go. See, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with me today. I am mixing up my weight classes. I'm thinking Taraji fought and moved up for some reason all the way to. I'm getting my weight classes mixed up, trying to go and keep track. See, this is the one of the things this is the one downside with this sport. Sometimes you'll go through and you will be talking, and you're running and you're tripping over your own feet, trying to keep up with who moved up where. That's my fault. He's at bantamweight, fighting at 115. I never said the division because I was scared I was gonna get it wrong. I forgot to say that he's fighting at bantamweight, which is why I bring up the names like Maloney, like Tamoya, like Fernando Martinez, and I think he's also got Yair Frank. Though he's getting ranked number 9, they're roughly number 9, number 8 in the world. He's got names up here that I think he could go and take on and probably beat. He's also got, at this point in time, he's got, the second best power out here in the division? If we're going by knockouts, with Maloney getting 18 and him getting 16, that's the second most in the top 10 of this division. I think the next closest is 13 by Skio. So yeah. He can never do. Okay, so yeah, Maloney's IBF. Oh yeah, go after Maloney. Go after Maloney. Go. Maloney's at 115. Maloney's at the IBF. That would be a huge fight. That could honestly, if you want to go out of the country, you could have that fight potentially in Australia. I think Maloney's from Australia. You could have had that fight down there. Take his belt, get a whole new audience, get a whole new fan base, take it back over to Japan, and now, the world is yours. And just continue to climb the ranks. I would want to see that happen. And I'd be excited to see that happen. But we'll see how it takes place. But he should be really good. And yeah, Tamoya, I brought up Tamoya. He's at 115 as well. He is somebody that he could take on. There's all these names that he's got back in his front view mirror. And I want to see how we can go and not just adapt. I want to see how he can go and win. And I think he can. Will it be by knockout? I think a good majority of these might be by KO. Might be. It really might be. And the toughest might be, though I don't think he has a belt right now, the toughest might be Kafu. In terms of a name that isn't being brought up, but is somebody that can still shake up everything. It could be Kafu. It could be Kafu if he's get back into that running. Now, that's a cat you might be a little bit wary of. But everybody else, I think he'll be able to handle pretty, I'm not going to say easily, but he should be able to win and get it done right now. Also, you have Yuga. I brought up Yuga in this division. I think we brought up Martinez. I think we named all the biggest names that he could take on, that he could win up here at this division. So I'm for it. I'm for it. I'm absolutely for it. I want to see how everything shakes out. And trust me, it's going to be a phenomenal division. Keep your eye out for Taraji and 115. I'm telling you, even though Inoue and Bam are not there, these divisions are still moving and getting elevated and doing a lot of work. And I promise you, taking time to watch them, it will be worth it. Even if you watch them afterwards. Now, you don't even wake up. If you got to catch it after they happen, catch it after they happen. But I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. It will be worth it without question. Let me see. You got Fujiki is a Japanese lightweight. You told me to check. I think you told me to check him out yesterday. Yeah. You told me to check out some of his film. Not yesterday. I think Tuesday. You told me to keep an eye out on him and look him up coming in to lightweight. And lightweight at 130. If he's as good as you saying that he is, that would mean that Yuga, Foster, Neverete, Stephen Fulton, even though he lost, he's weighed 137. I don't think he can get anything. I don't think he can fight anywhere under 130 anymore. And there's one more name. There's one more name that is at 130 that I'm missing as a big time opportunity, and that is hold on. Raymond Ford. That's what I'm thinking of. Raymond Ford. All these names also on top of Lee Woods, James Dickens, Eduardo Nunez, even though I'm not as high on Eduardo as I am with some of these other people. I mean, I'm higher on him than Lee Woods, but I'm not. He could fall and I wouldn't be surprised. But all of these guys up here, if you add Yuka to the list, and he is indeed worth his weight in salt, he could be great. He could be phenomenal. Oh, and speaking of which, real quick, actually, you bring it up 130. I need to talk about Foster and potentially Shakur. Because one of the topics that we need to discuss, with all this noise with Devin Haney, Keyshawn, Ryan Garcia, Conor, Benn, Boots Ennis potentially getting another fight, and everybody moving up and down, he's been kind of left out more than ever. And I'm really now getting concerned. Outside of Valenzuela, what can he do? And it might not be much. But let me see. Adam Hurley, how you doing? Good to see you. We appreciate you coming into the show. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Rhoda, 135, not 130. My apologies. So that means not 130. I'm sorry. My apologies. See, I told you. I'm for some reason, I'm getting all my weight classes mixed up. 135, my apologies. So that would mean Mason Murataya, Schofield, Andy Cruz, if he hasn't moved up, Lomachenko, who wants to come back, who is coming back in the boxing. Good gosh, man, shoot. That's steep. Golly. I hope that look, Yuga, I hope he is everything you say. Cause I got my divisions wrong. Lightweight, 135. If he is what he says he is, he's going to need to be it. Because up here at 135, that's a whole different problem now. I'm not saying he can't do it. I still want to check him out and see how he is. But I do hope, because that would add what, another name to an already 7 to 8 name deep division right now. It'd be great. It'd be great. Let me say, you should watch his debut. He looks sensational. I'll watch it after the show. I'm gonna watch it after this show because I got time and I can actually have some opportunities to rest, edit, and watch film while I'm going through and getting my stuff ready for next week. Also, but let me keep on reading. Adam Hurley, let me not skip over your chat. Underrated fight tomorrow. Pierce O'Leary, 19-0 versus Mark Chamberlain, 17-1. That's tomorrow. Now, I think I saw Chamberlain before. I think I've seen Mark Chamberlain fight before. I don't think I've seen Pierce O'Leary fight before. So this might be the first time I'm seeing both of them step in the ring with each other. So I'm excited for that. I am excited for that. This will be to see Mark Chamberlain get better and to see O'Leary for the first time. I'll be excited to see that. I'm not gonna lie. But let me make sure I at least address this one thing with the conversation with Shakur, because I did not get to discuss that earlier in the show like I wanted to, because we got sidetracked with all the other talk of the other smaller divisions in boxing, which I love. But again, we got to make sure that I at least try to have a little bit of the consistency. Although it is a championship round, so we can talk about whatever. But let me see. His jabbing footwork is incredible. Talk about Yuga and his elite. He has power as well. Rocked his opponent with a jab. Yeah, I'm gonna check him out. After this show. I can't play it on stream because I copyright and all that stuff, so we can't watch it together. But I'm definitely be on the lookout for it now. If he's as good as you say at 135, yeah, anybody that can potentially compete up here at that division, as it's currently stated right now, that might be somebody to pay attention to. But before I continue, let me digress and talk about Shakur. I still gotta at least touch on the thing that I have in the thumbnail, with Shakur being left out. And we're not beating a dead horse with this conversation. We are getting concerned because I am scared that Shakur is going to lose some of his stock. Yuga, as you talk about, is getting elevated, and we're already bringing him up. Ooh, that's a new name. That's a new face. We're seeing other fighters at 135, 140, 147, 154, 168 even, getting a lot of shine and rub from the boxing world. Most of the time at heavyweight is getting some shine and some love. Everybody at this point in time is moving up and elevating in their ability and in their approach as a face in this sport. And Shakur just had his biggest opportunity to step out into the spotlight. However, since that move, I'm not going to lie, it's been crickets, even on the side of Shakur Stevenson. Because it would seem like it would make sense after signing a deal, we have a fight already in place for Shakur to fight under with Zuffa, whether it's El Rayo or anybody else. Why isn't there anything happening with Shakur's end of the spectrum? I'm not asking this to be disgruntled. I'm asking this because it's leading to a bigger point. Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, and everybody else is doing all this stuff. And everybody else, even above these divisions, are doing a bunch of stuff. Shoot, at 140, there's getting some buzz right now. We could see a big-time shakeup down there. We're getting people like saying they want to fight Gary Antoine Russell. We're getting actual opponents saying that they're starting to call people out. T.O. versus Rowley, they're starting to steal some spotlight because they're getting a fight with each other in what we know will be, at minimum, an incredibly entertaining affair. Ryan Garcia, Conor, Benn, they got their fights coming down the line. Everybody right now this summer is moving. But it seems like Shakur's movement has stopped. And that is concerning because Shakur's identity, he is getting out of it of being boring. But because anybody that knows this sport, it's easy to fall back into the old identity that you have if you don't keep the stuff pushing. Anthony Joshua, we kept saying this, but he's changing. He's different. And after one performance, now we're saying, okay, it's the same old AJ. Just like we expected. Just like we expected. Tank, as much times as we've said he's going to fight somebody different, he's going to fight somebody different. Eventually, everybody finally came to the same realization. It's the same Tank that we always knew. I'm not saying this to be uber despairing. I'm saying this because it's a pattern of concern. Shakur is just getting out of the identity of being a boring fighter to many people. Yet, at the peak of his potential to fully put that identity to bed, there's no fight schedule. And everybody around him has a fight that is either going to greatly impact the next step of their career or completely alter where their career is going to be from this point on. Why isn't Shakur in that same envelope of conversation? And what's the holdup with somebody who fought in January not having a fight schedule? While Keyshawn Davis, who already fought one time this year later than you, is getting another fight. Why is it? Why? How is it that Keyshawn Davis, who fought in January and later on in the year against Albright, has a fight scheduled in the cards, on the table, over you? There's not even talks of stuff going down. Conor Benn signed under Zuffa, and he got a fight quicker than what we see, or at least he was talked about with getting the fight quicker than what we see with Shakur. It was not long before we heard that that Conor Benn had a fight under his belt. It wasn't. The turnaround was not long from that. Shoot, even after the first signing, the revamping of their contract was done after the first fight. I don't understand where the holdup is for somebody who is watching all of his other cohorts pass him by. And we talked about the face of boxing earlier in the year, or earlier in the month. I think last week, actually. And that whole debate of conversation. Do you know why there's a whole debate of conversation? It's because it's an ever-moving, ever-flowing flow. And every time we're looking at this, we're saying it's a rat race that somebody has to always keep up. You can't afford to not have fuel in your car. Or else, when it's time to really step on the gas pedal, you are going to fall behind. Kind of like with NASCAR, you put tape on your grill to make your engine. Yeah, it'll run hot, but it'll also flow differently to give you some extra oomph of speed. But you seal it up entirely, your engine gonna blow. And you're gonna be forced to have to slow down just to stay afloat in the race. Right now, Shakur Stevenson seems like he is. And again, if I'm wrong, please enlighten me. Please push back if need be. But it seems like the biggest news about Shakur was the fact that he signed with Zuffa. Not the fact that he's about to take over. Because the movement since that signing has completely come to a standstill. It's been more talk on Twitter. It's been more talk on social media. It's been more talk about, I'm not scared to fight anybody. I'll go and take on anybody. I'll get in anybody's face and do whatever I need to do. It's been more talk about that than actual productive. We got pen to paper. We're making something shake. Even if it's just an initial fight to get you in the door, you're just not fighting at all. Everybody's got something scheduled, big or small, short or tall, except for you. Why is that the case? Or they're in negotiations right now with somebody, or they're at least looking at options. When are they even getting those types of questions? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Again, might be biased, might just be a little bit of frustration because I just want to see Shakur fight and get stuff done. But there may be an opportunity that we don't get that stuff done really quickly, simply because it is Zuffa and Shakur. De La Hoya said publicly, hey, I'm willing to work with other promoters, anybody, to make the fights that the fans want to see. That's cool. Still banking on most of the others don't feel that same way. And I'm still buying into the idea Shakur may have shot himself in the foot, moving in this vein to get a fight that maybe under Zuffa you won't be able to get. With the big names that he's asking for. Unless it's Tank that's looking to sign with Zuffa. Because right now, he's with the PBC, but who knows, your buddy might just leave if he's like, I just want my money and dip. He's loyal, but like I said, anything can happen. Outside of that, I'm just concerned. Because I just don't want to see this momentum wasted when everybody else is moving and he's just kind of staying stagnant. With fights being made, being agreed to, and going down. That's, again, just me. Personal gripes, that's all. But let me keep on reading your thoughts. Anyway said he won't wait for Bam, and Bam does not fight anyway. In February, anyway, we move up to featherweight. Yes, he did. He said that yesterday, without a question. He said that yesterday, without, no doubt. And that is real. That is real. That is absolutely real. If he does not get a fight with Bam Rodriguez by February, he is going to 126, and Bam will have to move up 2 weight divisions to follow him up there. He will have to get him up there to go and make a fight. That is not what I want, but that's what's going to happen because he's not going to waste time. Dustin, anyways, never wasted time trying to talk about just making stuff happen. He will make stuff shake, regardless. And that's why I'm saying, Bam, Robert Garcia, you want to make sure your fighter is ready. But also, you got to understand, you already missed out on the potential shot at Nakatani. Not necessarily because of your own accord. That time, the promoter was like, we don't want that fight right now. You don't want to miss out on this fight when you have it in your grasp. And this is what you have been saying you've been waiting on. If I'm Bam, don't waste time. Because in a way, we'll leave. He will leave. And you'll have to play 122 and 126 instead of just going at the 122 to get him. Don't make him get up there now. Because it might be harder for you to beat him if you fight him at 126. I'll say that. We can say that in a way, may struggle against bigger people, maybe at 126 because of the weight difference. But if you're coming up to him from a smaller weight division, now that's a whole nother can of worms. I don't think you want to have that type of problem with him potentially filling out to the biggest that he can be without losing any skill set. That might not be the best thing for you if you want your likelihood to win. Fight him now. Get it done now if you can. If you can. Let me see. Adam Hurley. I don't understand why Shakur went to Zuffa. He would make a ton of money just making a big fight. And so here's the thing. And it's a great point. It's a great point. And it's because he went to Zuffa. His words, he wanted to be different. He wanted to be different. He wanted to be different. He wanted to take a chance when everybody signed with the zone in terms of the top ranked matchrooms, PBCs, all of them met together, and now they're all under the same banner. He went and signed with Zuffa. He said he wanted to take the chance. He said, I'm going to go left when everybody goes right. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that's what he alluded to in the press conference, saying, now I got the freedom to make all the big fights I want. Have the complete control. But it's the problem, or it is a problem, because because Shakur is left alone. He's all alone. He is left out. That's why this was so concerning. In the midst of all this stuff, one of the biggest, well, I'm not going to say one of the biggest, what in a year where we've had constantly good fights, we've seen him come through, and all of a sudden you could have been a part of this conversation. But now you're left high and dry with the summer and October months having nothing. With nobody that you have, again, you're not signed with Valenzuela. You're not a part of the schedule right now with anybody. And you are in, there's no talks of you may fight him or you may fight this person. Everything's speculation, but nothing's actually concrete. There's nothing to look forward to with you right now in this division. Unless somebody else from another promotion wants to work with you. And we're talking promoters with Dana White. And outside of De La Hoya, they don't want that. They don't want that at all. That's where the problem lies. And that's where we're concerned about. You are going to make the same. You can potentially, even as a bigger name, in the immediate, make the same mistake that we just saw. What's his name? Jaya Pataya make, thinking that if I go and sign with Zuffa, I'll get the Benavidez fight. It's the same mistake. He went in and he's very, in terms of Shakur, he's got Hitchens, Valenzuela, De Los Santos, Conor Benn. That's it. Conor Benn's locked up. Valenzuela, nothing's been moved on that fight. Not a thing, except for fan speculation. De Los Santos got knocked out, so he ain't going to be fighting. And Hitchens is up at 147, which right now, there's no 140-pound division. And that's what Shakur fights. And Shakur hasn't said straight up, I'm moving up to 147. The best I can do is a catchweight at 144. His words, not mine. That is what we're dealing with. And that is the concern. What is there for Shakur to do now while everybody else has all, it's the summer of fighting and everybody else is fighting but you. You started the year off incredibly strong, and now you had another big move in signing, but that's not, the fights are still the thing that matters. This is why I say you can lose your position that you gained earlier in the year with how you go through and potentially be left out of all these immediate conversations. Because right now you're being left, you're being left out of these conversations simply because you have nothing going on. And again, if it happens, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying it is a concern. It is a concern that we got to kind of take seriously. I'm not going to lie. But let me keep on reading your thoughts and opinions. Benn can't go to 126. I think his limit is 122. Well, he's going to have to. If he doesn't take the in-away fight now, he's going to have to. If Robert Garcia doesn't take that fight now, he's going to have to go and get to 122 or 126. He's going to need to. Whether he wants to or not. I'm not saying that's, I'm not trying to be, that's, it's an ultimatum. But at this point, if he can't get his body up there, he's going to have to if he wants that fight. Unless he goes and says, okay, we're going to get it done. And it seems like the deal is we're going to get it done at 122. Just know. There's a potential outcome that if anybody says he won't wait, he ain't waiting. Let me see. Because Benn could get knocked out at 122. Yes, he can. Because the punches at 122 are nasty. Absolutely. Bam said he felt Vargas' power. Well, I mean, Vargas did have power. I'm not going to act like Vargas didn't have power when he moved up to bantamweight. He did. It's just the fact that Benn was better. But it's going to feel Nakatani, Hernandez, Marlon Tapales, all these guys and more. They got crack. They got SWAT. They got some real ability to put some danger and some fear inside your heart. Oh, not to mention, Akhmadali is going to be up here. Junto Nakatani at 122 is going to be up here. Cardenas, he's going to be up here. Nishida. Raisuke Nishida. I'm not saying he's a big time puncher, but he definitely is a long rangey brother who his punches can sting. 2 KOs, that brother does have some sting in his punches. It's not gonna put you out though. And it's shoot at this division. At this division, at 118, bantamweight, you still have Takeki. Now, granted, Takeki just is not the same guy anymore that he was earlier in his career when he got beat by Christian Medina. That's the guy I was thinking of that got beat by Medina, Takeki. But he's still there. Takeki is still there. Takuma is still there. Saye Satsumi, the buddy who fought against Floyd Mayweather and turned into one of the greatest Japanese kickboxers ever, and then ultimately turned into a contending championship boxer now. He's still there, and I think he's got a rematch with Inoue's brother coming down the line, if I do remember correctly. He's still there. Tenshin still there. Calderon, he's there. You got people that are named at this division and above that got real swat. And if you're feeling it now, you don't want to feel that at 126. You don't. You don't want to feel that at 126. Because if you do, it's going to be a problem. Let me see. Michael Angeletti is very promising. I'm going to check him out. He can't, what? Well, have I seen him before? Let me see if the name sounds familiar. I might have seen him before. Hold on. Let me see his face before I say anything. Because if I have seen him, great. But if I haven't, it'll be another name to look up as a fighter. To try to see. 118 just fought Kenneth Lover. Let me see. Let me see. Michael Angeletti. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Hold on, I got a lot of tabs open. Oh, he fought Judy Flores. Oh, okay. I think I have seen this guy. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I think again. I say Judy Flores. I'm not saying that fight was an uber memorable fight. He knocked him out in 3 rounds. I was just recognizing the name of the opponent. That's who. Okay. All right. Michael Angeletti, number 9 in the world at bantamweight. 15-0, 8 KOs right now. Oh, and he did beat guy. He beat him by split decision. In terms of beat Kenneth Lover. Dang. Yeah, okay. All right. So, yeah, I have seen him. I was just trying to get my, I needed to attach the face to the name. But, yeah, I have seen him. He's big. He's big. For 118, that butt is big. Absolutely. He's big. And he at 8 KOs and 15 wins for the smaller divisions, that's some respectable power. More than respect, that's some good power. That's some good power. See, again, at 118, you got people coming up and already at the top that Bam got to get through. Now, is Angeletti gonna get to Bam? By the time Bam moves up to 122, I would say no. Most likely from how we're seeing their career moves. If we really want to see Bam get you anyway first, he's going to take that jump. But if he does stay around, well, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're going to have to deal with. These types of names and fighters. This does not mean Bam is not better than all of them. He is. I think I said this earlier. If he was to go for undisputed at 118, then go out there in a way at 122, I would pick him to be the guy to win this division. I would pick him to win and go and become undisputed. Or the most likely person to be undisputed at this division. Because his skill set fits the bill at 118. Yeah, I can go and take on the globe and be just fine. But just know, there's a monster around every corner when it comes to 118 and 122. And if I'm Bam, yeah, I'm young. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm fiery. You don't want to risk missing out on the biggest fight in your career. When we are the public saying, you can come back here and do that. But don't waste this. Because the legacy up here, just taking a fight, is too much for you to miss. For us to witness you. You can come back after, but you don't need to do that now. But let me see. There's also a UK fighter at 115 who's massive for the weight and punches like a truck. I can't remember his name right now. Wait, look, you bring him up. We can keep track of him. Like I said, we're all for getting a spotlight on some new fighters. We're cool with that. That's not an issue. That's not a problem. It gives us more things to be on the lookout for, and it adds gravity to a division that for most people, they may not recognize as, ooh, we need to take that seriously. But in all seriousness, it's a real thing that people want to see, because it's a real thing that this division, 115, 118, and 122, we got people popping up everywhere. That can be legitimate problems. That can be real, outright problems for the world of boxing. Without question. Without question. But again, all this boils down to the main thing with this whole conversation. Bam, don't wait. That's all we're asking. Don't wait. Because if you wait and you get upset, because you can get upset down here, even with as great as you are, I don't want to risk the biggest fight that we could see hanging in the balance. Whew. Blowing the wind. Simply because, let me get one more fight in and get myself ready. Because I think you're ready now. Excuse me. I think you're ready right now. I think you can win. Or excuse me, I think you have the ability to win. Now, in a way, it's going to be the guy that I'm picking to win. But I think you can go, and if you go in and try to take on the monster, you got the tools that you can slay him. You got something that nobody else has. An immediate key to unlock this boss level fight to take out one of the best boxer in the world, and put that crown on your head directly. With stardom in America, over in Europe, over in Japan, all for yours to have as the spoils of taking over a kingdom. That is right in your front view mirror. That is directly in your line of sight. Don't lose that. Please. Please don't lose that. This could be like Shakur and Devin Haney. If we see Keyshawn Davis beat Devin Haney, hypothetically, if that fight does happen, we wanted that to be you. But because it was also, hold on. Something's playing. Never mind. I thought there was some audio playing in the background, my bad. But there's no need to wait around. That's just me. There's no need to wait around. But let me see. Jack Turner. Oh, Jack Turner is his name. 14-0, 13 KOs. Has he been fighting like fodder? Or has he been like fighting some pretty respectable competition in these knockouts? Because it's all, I'll definitely look him up and see what he is about. Medina might be banana skin, young, strong, big, can work and punch, and has good footwork. If he's good for Medina already, great. If he's already in position to be able to say, yeah, I can fight against Medina and be just fine. My gosh. My goodness. If we're talking about the same Medina. But young, strong, big, got a good punch. And it's okay footwork. But that ain't bad. I ain't bad. And he are we stopping guys quick? Like quick? Let me see. Hold on. Let me look this guy up. Let me see. Jack Turner. That sounds like an action hero. That sounds like an action hero. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute here. Let's look this brother up and see what he's about. 14-0, 13 KOs at super flyweight. Good gosh. One round, 4 rounds. Well, he won that one off of points. And then 5 rounds KO, 1 round KO, 1 round KO, 2 round KO, 6 round KO, 2 round KO, 3 round KO. Okay, all right. He got something to him. I'll admit, he got something to him. Now, granted, the opponents are more so seen as, fodder. If we're going off a box rec, against the best fighter he's had is Nicholas Augustin. I think it's the best named fighter he's had at this point in time on his resume, again, per box rec ratings, as a 2-star fighter. I'm not saying this is like him putting out, the top 10 in this division, but what it is, it's a very promising start for somebody who can potentially mop some real competition up. 99 at it all. Not 9 at it. Let me see. Like Anyway Quick. Oh gosh, like Anyway Quick. Watch his highlights. Okay, so I got Yuga and Jack Turner to go and look up. Phil, let me write that down. Let me write these things down. Let me write these things down to make sure I keep track of who I need to watch. Hold on. I'm putting these names down right now so I can make sure that I'm not missing a moment of what needs to take place. Hold on a minute. I'm typing this out so I can see it myself. Jack Turner. Yuga. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. There. Okay. Bet. I got it written down. And this is where I can go back and watch him after the fight or after the show, so I can follow up and see exactly what takes place. But even still, we got more stuff. We're at the 2-hour mark, roughly. I do need to get ready for something this afternoon, so we won't be able to go all full 3 hours and whatnot. We can go and kind of do a last call right now, because I do got to make sure I prep and get ready for something later on in the afternoon today. So we're gonna do last call real quick for this edition of the show. We'll be back here on Tuesday, we'll talk more about boxing and beyond next week, absolutely. But for the last rounds, we'll still want to hear from you and any thoughts and opinions and debates that you want to have and question. One of the things I did want to bring up, if we can, while we have time, is one question. Also, Super Saiyan, what's going on? How you doing? Salute to you. We appreciate you on the live. Thank you for showing up and showing out on our stream today. It means the world to us. We're happy that you're here. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal time. We've been talking about so much stuff on our show. We've been talking about Shakur Stevenson. We've been talking about Devin Haney. We've been talking about Shakur being left out of this whole conversation. We've gone through some of the brighter up-and-coming stars at 118. Bam Rodriguez, will he fight Bam at 122 or will he stay at 118? We've talked about, Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn. Talks on how that fight's going to go. I think Conor Benn is going to get knocked out by Ryan. We want to hear from you in all respect of manner. Do you think Conor Benn, win or lose, would fight against the likes of Shakur Stevenson, because that's the only other big name that we could see Shakur fight right now in his current situation of personnel down at 140, which there is no official 140 pound division. So it had to be at 147. I want to hear your thoughts on all of that and so much more on this show with us today. I've had my doubts about Benn moving up so soon to fight. Anyway, well, I mean, we talked about this on this show, and Mr. Miyagi brought this up as well. Also, if you would, leave a like on the video. I nearly forgot. Hey, we still got to get paid somehow, don't we? Leave a like on the stream and keep on sharing the show and support us monetarily if you can. We got Keyshawn and PayPal. Links down below in the description. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it just to, to have that. It's like an ad read, but though it's my ad, so I'm promoting me. So, but, and, back to having fun with the conversation. We talked about this. Bam, I don't think he should wait because Inoue's not waiting around for him. And if Inoue goes to 126, Bam is going to be potentially too small to make the difference for what this fight can be for him to win. Because 126-pound Inoue, he may be in potential danger against the others, but anybody coming up to him, it's a whole different ballgame. He's not losing his ability. He's not going to be losing his luster or ability to fight as still a quality boxer. And the power is just going to be, I'm better at punching. He's not losing that against somebody smaller than 115 who's coming up to 122 and now it's 126. Don't waste time with it. And right now, I think you can beat him. I do. I'm not saying you're going to beat him. I think he has the ability to beat him if he did fight him. The whole question is just don't wait, because 126 might be too big for you. That was our situation. So I get what you're saying. I get it. I really do. It's just the fact that I just wanted to wait. He can't wait. Let me see. Benn would have to prove he has the boxing IQ to neutralize Ryan's crazy speed. I don't think he does. I don't. Let me see. Benn can get wild, but also shown he can be more patient in box. Though you're only as good as your last fight. Yeah, most people's eyes. And let's be completely honest. Conor Benn, and in fact, this is the clip I wanted to show you. I have been teasing this clip for Lord knows how long, and I still have been yet to play it. Hold on. I've been teasing this same clip for the entire show, and I haven't played it yet. That's my fault. I'm gonna play it right now so you can see. I'm gonna play it right now for you can see. Because, and again, you coming in late. We're reiterating points, but it's a point that you need to hear. Conor Benn does not fight like he trains. Conor Benn will not fight like he fought against Chris Eubanks Jr. the second time. And Conor Benn is most likely going to lose his cool. If Conor Benn fought like he trained, it could be a little bit different. Why? Because look at how he trains and look at what he's doing in these clips versus what he does in an actual fight. It's a night and day difference. To me, it is a complete night and day difference in how he goes and approaches setting up punches, setting up getting on the inside, being able to slip and roll, and working as an aggressive fighter on the front foot. Some people say it's a little bit of Mike Tyson. I can say whatever you look like as in here, you don't look like this in the gym.
You see a sight that almost stops your heart.
And so that was I please do not copyright strike me for the inadvertent Michael Jackson music in Ryan Garcia's clip. That is not me owning the footage or owning the song. Please. Universal, Sony, whoever the word has the rights to MJ's music, do not come after me. I did not knowingly play the clip with that music. I don't own no rights to it. No, nothing at all. But gotta cover my butt with that. But this clip was showing Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn what they've been doing as they've been training or getting ready for their clash with each other. And we brought this up earlier. But the biggest thing is, you saw how Conor Benn was training in those clips. And you saw Ryan Garcia partying and doing all that other stuff. Yeah, it's to be jokey and to be funny. Understandable. But it's also to show you the other side of this equation. Conor Benn training like that against Ryan. It looks great. We know what Ryan Garcia is going to look like most likely when he fights against Conor Benn. We don't know if what we're seeing in the gym is actually going to be what Conor Benn looks like in the ring, because generally that's not the case. Nearly every time it's not the case. He's trying to work on the inside. He's again, like I say, many of his training footage looks like he's using Mike Tyson tactics. Slipping under, trying to duck left and right, doubling up on hooks and stuff and all that jazz. When you get in the fight, this buddy is overextending, over lunging, and completely out of his element. Well, not out of his element, but completely rash in the offense. Eubanks Jr. 2, that fight aside. Reckless, fights dirty, will put his arm under your chin, use all these different tactics and things to get under you. That is what we see with Conor Benn normally. The sparring does not show the story of the fight. It doesn't show what Conor Benn can do actually in the ring. It just shows he's a motor, but he don't fight like that in the actual fight. Hence, if he did fight like that in the actual fight, this would be a whole different conversation. But because it's not, guess what? I can see Ryan Garcia partying. I at least know more concretely what I'm going to get if I see him in the ring. And because of that, I can hang my hat a little bit more. Okay. I think we're going to see Ryan Garcia knock him out. Because if Conor Benn did those things that he was doing in the gym, in the ring, this would be, even without power, a whole lot different career. Because he would be a whole lot better technically. He would, at least to me, he would. Let me come over to your thoughts and opinions on the show. Let's see, Espinosa at 126 is the biggest test for Inoue. In my opinion, though similarly Bam versus Inoue talks, Espinosa seems to be on his way to move up to 130 before Inoue gets there. I'm surprised, but it's about time. Good gosh, how in the world? What the world? How was this not already a thing? Espinosa's been big. I'm shocked. This butt already wasn't at 130. Now, I'm going to say this. At 130, with some of the holes that we saw at 126, they could get caught and he could get hurt in a bad way going up to 130. He can't. Don't let that fool you. Whatever holes that we said were a problem at 126 that we saw in Espinosa's most recent fight, they can be the same level of problem at 130. Oh, mark my words. That's real. That's a real, that can be a real issue. Because we talk about every time you move up is an elevated level of power. 130 is just like that. 130 is that same position of potential damage and danger that we can see the likes of Espinosa get into. Then all of a sudden, he's caught. He's hurt. The windows get cracked. Next thing you know, he turns into a Sebastian front door. Timber. This butt is going down. Timber and he falls hard. That's what it could be. Let me see. The top 126 fighters need to hurry up and get unified. Have somebody become undisputed. Yes, please. Please do. Please do. Please do. The only issue for why this isn't happening is simply, or rather it feels like it's because we are waiting on somebody to lose a belt. We're waiting on some. They're most likely waiting on somebody to lose the belt. Somebody. The only way we're going to get somebody to unify everything is if they get somebody that has the majority. Because right now, the thing is still, we are waiting on anyway. That's the thing. We're waiting on anyway. More than anything, we are waiting on anyway to go and make something happen. Once he's the cash cow, we're holding all the chips till he gets up here. Once he gets up here, great. But until then, we may not mess around with each other unless we end up like Nick Ball, where we're out of a title and we're out of that sweepstakes. And let me see. Bam, a Richard Progress was giving Ben fits. Yeah, he was. Shout out to Ben. He was. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I don't think he can win. Because if Regis is giving you Progress with a bum leg, we're going to see Ryan Garcia is going to give you so much worse with so much better range and so much better health. It ain't going to be funny. I'm telling you, it will not be funny at all. But like I said before, we do have to end this show, and we're going to give you all the chance to do the last call with in terms of boxing and questions and comments and all that stuff in concerns with your opinions in the sports and boxing ethos. So we're going to give it to you now. Whatever you want to say, whatever you can't say, we want to hear from you in all regards of the sports landscape and the boxing world as a whole, if you have something to say. But if not, we can wrap this show up, send it home, and get on out of here, because I do have to get ready for something this afternoon so that I can be able to be ready and primed and fit for that. But nobody else got anything, has anything they want to say, and we've covered everything that we can cover. We're going to wrap this show up, send it home, and get on out of here, and we're going to see you all next week right here on this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, with all of that being said, we're going to go and end this show off with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Watchable with me, your host, Jean Lewis. We hope you've had a phenomenal time. We hope you enjoyed a phenomenal show. We thank you for everybody who showed up throughout the week and made this whole week incredible and phenomenal. We hope you have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day. We thank you to everybody who came and supported and chatted and gave and was a donor, gave alms to the empire, and made this conversation on today's show oh so spectacular. We appreciate all of you, every single one of you. If you would be so kind, leave a like on the video before you leave. Keep on commenting your thoughts and opinions on what you like or didn't like about the show, so we can continue to make this show better for you to witness and enjoy. Leave a like on the video. One like makes a world of difference. Subscribe to the channel, join the empire. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube, and you never miss a moment of what we have going on this channel every 3 days out the week. Be sure to go ahead and rate us 5 stars on every podcasting platform. You'll be able to listen to all the latest episodes of this week's all the episodes of this week's show uploaded today, this afternoon. Mark my words, so you can listen to it on your go, in your car, on your job, with your family, or just with wherever you are. Put them on to our show, and they can be able to join our empire. And please, if you'll be so kind, share the show with everybody that you know, so we can keep on building up this empire together. And if you want to support this channel one last time monetarily, we have Cash App and PayPal. Links down below in the description. Super chats, super gifts, super thanks, stickers, and the like, all for you to help us invest into the show, help me to pay the bills, and help us to edify this show. Oh, so much more. But I've been Jean-Luc Welch. You all have been absolutely wonderful. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. We hope you have a wonderful week next week. And we can't wait to see you back here for more topics in the world of sports that we can go and entertain you and debate. So I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. Peace and love. Oh, we are out of here. Yes, sir. Salute to you. Be safe. Be blessed. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you all next time. And we gone.